Hi, Dan Lyle here, the owner and founder of LylePublishing.com. And I'd like to briefly tell you how I might help you with the difficult, big problem of poor outcomes from religious leadership decisions. In a congregation, by helping church leaders understand and adopt godly quality management. First of all, why is church leadership often a big problem for a congregation? Well, quite simply, when bad things happen because of their decisions. And this happens fairly frequently throughout religious groups. Now, I'm not saying that they have to be perfect. Church leaders, after all, are just frail human beings that are fault-ridden, limited, egotistic, blind-spotted, imperfect humans. Just like me, just like you. But even when they are obviously very dedicated, unselfish, intelligent, and devoted to their cause, horrible things can still result from their decisions. What sort of horrible things? Well, how about this list of 7 awful common outcomes to church leader decisions? 1. The congregation splits and half the people leave. 2. Thoughtful individuals are silenced and either forced to leave or they stop contributing their active time, money, and talents. 3. Visiting people go elsewhere who otherwise might have joined the congregation. 4. Ugly fights poison the collegiality of the congregation for decades into the future. 5. Effective outreach to the community grinds to a stop. 6. Young people refuse to attend or quit as soon as they're able to get out on their own. And 7. What was previously a thriving congregation withers, ages, and dies. Those are pretty awful outcomes. Now, the church leaders who made the decisions that resulted in those awful outcomes will likely defend their decisions as being right, even though bad things resulted. Okay. Maybe under their perceived framework and objectives, they were right. But it doesn't change the fact that their decisions were responsible for terrible results. This is what you can clearly label as poor leadership. Now, godly wise leadership, on the other hand, applying all the principles of one's faith all together at once, might have made different and better decisions under the same circumstances, the exact same circumstances, that would not have resulted in those terrible outcomes. Now, let's be clear. I'm really not trying to beat up church leaders, because often they are very kind and very unselfish to take on all the headaches and problems of church leadership, and they are sincerely trying to make the best decisions that they can at the time under the circumstances that, sadly, result in things going very badly. I've been there myself. I have done the same things myself. So I know about this. However, afterwards, when I look back on the situation, I learned from the situation to hopefully be a better leader and make better decisions in the future, and to take what I learned, that you can profit from it if you wish, by embracing a new definition of excellent church leadership that I've come up with, namely godly quality management, for which I have 7 powerful tools to quickly recommend to your attention. All right, first of all, in my book, The Book of Lyle, I take you on a autobiographical spiritual adventure in which we dig down together to the roots of normal human behavior. And what do we find when we do that? Well, we find things that are unreasonable, that are wasteful, that are disrespectful, that are ugly, and that are dishonorable. And it's sad, but it's only by understanding our own worst selves that we can guard against the temptation to revert to our own worst selves in times of uncertainty, stress, and conflict. Second, in my book, Creative Theology, I help church leaders understand how to institutionalize good, acceptable structures, to put them in place to help members work together productively and happily in full support and approval of the church leadership. Third, in my book, In Search of Quality, Principles and Mechanisms, I walk you step by step through the principles and mechanisms for achieving godly quality management, claiming indeed that they are straight out of the Bible and indeed are fundamental to most of the high ideals of the great religions, of all the great religions. Fourth, for Christians, in my book, The Real Jesus, I point out where Jesus himself implemented these very same principles and mechanisms for godly quality management, and told his followers that they were to do likewise. Fifth, the value of godly quality management is particularly evident when we have to deal with difficult people, quote unquote. So in my book, The Jesus Lectures 3, Dealing with Difficult People, I depict Jesus telling his followers today how to rise above their animal instincts when implementing church management. So rather than fighting and having us win and them lose, the godly, wise leader can find a way to learn, to cooperate, and to have all of us move forwards together. Sixth, in my book, The Jesus Lectures 8, Making Your Life Significant, I depict Jesus telling his modern-day followers to examine the impacts of their actions and continually improve in everything that they do, including church leadership. Seventh and finally, in my book, The Jesus Lectures 9, Avoiding Damnation, I depict Jesus telling his modern-day church leadership to do as he did in the first century by empowering and helping everyone to use their God-given talents together, attempting great things to the glory of God. That's godly quality management. It's not putting tradition, rituals, ceremonies, or doctrines first. Rather, putting first helping people to exercise together their godly creativity, attempting to do great things to the glory of God within godly parameters. Yes, I realize that it is scary. Yes, it's not the party line that you're used to hearing. Yes, you won't learn this in some religious school. And it does take going deeper into your fundamental principles. It does take reevaluating previously comfortable ways of doing business. Yes, it does take learning to do even better than you're doing now. But it can make your religious outcomes much more interesting, enjoyable, productive, and successful. So, if you have some interest in what I'm telling you, then I invite you to take a look at some of my other free short videos that take you on quick tours through the contents of each of the books I mentioned here. And you can find the links to those short videos right on top of the pictures that I've shown you of the covers of my ebooks located down on my home webpage at lylepublishing.com. And then, if you're interested in pursuing the details, my books are available for purchase at a mere $10 each to immediately pop up in your computer for you to go to write what is most useful and helpful to you. Now, should you need or want direct consultation from me, for a reasonable negotiated fee, I may be available to work with you via continuing email, teleconferencing, or even in person. And also, for free, you are welcome to send me a query-type email describing your situation, and as soon as I'm able to do so, I'll get back to you with some helpful feedback. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, I invite you to email me directly, either now or in the future, at danlyle@lylepublishing.com. I'm on your side. I want you to succeed the very best possible in the great work that you're doing for God. I look forward to hearing from you by email if you wish. And I thank you for viewing my How to Facilitate Godly Creativity, Creative Theology video.